For my analysis, you have to roll about 150 gold on level 8 to reliably complete 2-star legends. 150 gold? That can't be right. That sounds too high. That sounds way too high. Is that for one single 2-star legend that you want? Like one specific one? That's probably true for one specific one. Gone are the days where we used to snap axe round 1. I mean, if brownies are super open, could they still be good? We just want to jam something that's good early, right? What's good early? A completed Tiny. Tiny is probably just like better than Batrider right now. We're playing more for early game than anything else. Probably. Gloves versus Embarrassment. So last meta, it was Gloves at the start. Embarrassment gains value later on. Embarrassment kind of loses value in this patch. Somewhat. CK. So we're like paired on Primordials here. Do I even give Razor the time of day? I could just take something else instead. I don't know. Primordial pair is kind of okay for the first few rounds of the game, right? Not insta-picking Axe. Who is this guy? Guys, I don't even play that much brownies. It was just a few days. Is there consideration to put Axe in for the first 2 brownie kills? No, because then I have to bench other things instead, basically. Or then I don't get to bench other things instead. Chainmail definitely falls off quite a bit, because it's not so much like a DPS fight as it is like an ult fight. 3-pair. The legendary 3-pair hand. Leveling to 9 might be optimal when going for good stuff. Your rolls are about 35% more efficient when going from 8 to 9, whereas going from 9 to 9 increases by 15%. I mean, I go to level 9 on 25 in most games, but there's so much that goes into the decision on doing it on any specific spot, right? It's like, sometimes you want to go to 9 on 21, sometimes you want to go to 9 on, 31, right? But it depends on how good your economy is and what you're looking for, how close you are to stuff. It's too hard to say in general, one is better than the other. And you're always going to go to 9 at a certain point. It's just a matter of when, right? I think Blade Mail here. Blade Mail definitely falls off a bit here. Doesn't feel that great right now. Best standalone value here is selling a PA selling for a PA. We assume we're gonna win this, so we can probably buy the PA for the bounty instead. Blade Mail on the tanky one, Chainmail on the squishy one, and Gloves on the one on back. That's basically all there is to it. The squishy one wants to be more survivable, so Chainmail's good on it. And the tanky one wants to do more total damage, so the Blade Mail's good on it. Toss. He has Toss. He's good. Yeah, him picking off my Razor early there was basically the big thing. We need him to go on Tiny a little more aggressively. So his positioning against our specific board just helps him. I don't think we can buy PA. It's fine though. Razor frontline is ass. Yeah, I don't know if I have any other options here though. So the question is, does Rezi go in second row or third row? So in second row, he's hitting Enchantress here. In third row, he hits the front line only, but he deals 50% more damage to it. I think that's better, right? Razor should be third row instead of second row. Hitting the front line only, but dealing 50% more damage to it. Like, if the front line dies fast, that's kind of all I care about. Yeah, third row Razor just seems better. What do we even want here? Is there some outside universe? Never building more Razors. We can even leave the option open. Unfortunately, I don't think I can hit this interest point. I want this Witch Doctor just too much. Man, imagine not being able to hit this interest point. PP hands. Bounty Hunter, now that he's level 2, just wants to carry the gloves in this relationship. Is blacklisting back to the way it used to be? Yep. And that's a good change for sure. How does this deal 50% more damage? Because it deals damage based on distance, right? So it's 2/3 max damage at 2 cell radius, and it's max damage at 3 cell radius. And that would be a 50% difference. I mean, if I find 5 Razors in the next pack, there's a chance it's worth building this. Curious how much he did. Well, look at that. They're all basically tied. Except for Shredder. And we're just coasting to this interest point here. I mean, the nice thing is you really can just autopilot the game a bit more now. So there's that. So we can look at these two streakers, and we see that both of them are kind of coming in from the right side a bit, more than not. Like this Tusk, for example, will collapse on this Shredder. We want them to collapse on the tanky Tiny, who's going to spawn an Idol instead. So we'll go ahead and make that swap. We want to play against the top 2 boards. We want to make sure we're good against the boards that we need to be good against, those being the powerful boards. And we'll just position according to those. The trickier thing is when you have a situation where one top board wants you to do one thing and the other top board wants you to do another. It's kind of not necessarily a right solution to that. So we didn't win, but we definitely probably killed like 1 more unit because of that. Saves us a bit of health. Brain Dead Lieutenant here. Are we back to Econ and finding 2-star tier 4s and 5s? Or can tier 1 to 3 still contest as 3 stars? The former, although I think that if you have like you definitely have some potential for splashing 3-star units. Like for example, in last game we had 5 Shadow Fiends on round 23 or 24, and we could have gone for the 3-star Shadow Fiends and just splashed it into our legendary board. I don't think we can hit this interest point either. I mean, old mentality says to do this. And then just, I mean, we're not going for a Witch Doctor 3-star. I think Witch Doctor is too contested right now to really get to 3-star. 3-star units are still powerful. I mean, the problem is that, so here's how 3-starring works. Like, the reason you 3-star units is to, like, work around their alliances, right? Like, that's the important thing. You're trying to multiply stats together by stacking them, right? That's why, for example, when you're looking at Assassins, 3 stars are so good in Assassins because you're multiplying the Assassin Alliance bonus with the damage and health. Not just the damage, but also the survivability for more damage over more time. You're multiplying the damage and health with the Assassin Alliance, which is just a percentage of DPS, and then you can go off, right? And Knights are like the same way. You get like a 3-star Luna because at the end you just want to do all that, right?
I can carry my own weight.
This feels fine. But when you're not hitting as many alliance things, 3 stars feel worse, right? Like when I 3-star Shadow Fiend, right now that works pretty well. I mean, 3 stars are still good. We're in like 4 Warlocks, right? And then when Shadow Fiend ults, his lifelink goes off like crazy because he deals so much damage because he's 3 stars, and he's more likely to even ult because he's tankier, right? And that kind of makes sense in this meta because Warlocks are kind of the king. Warlocks are the king alliance of the good stuff meta, just because the good stuff units, like the powerful AoE ulting units, just happen to be Warlocks as well. 4 Primordials. I honestly wouldn't hate 4 Primordials early. I could get behind this. Swap it like that. I need to know the meta before I punch my monitor. Oh. Well, it's basically like I'm saying. Like, you want to be just, like, leveling aggressively. Go to 8 on 17. I think every game you want to be level 8 on 17. Straight up. So, level aggressively. Play for economy a bit more. Don't roll before 17 too much. Maybe in a couple selective spots you can, but don't do it too much. In the late game, you should be, like, swapping out your comp for legendaries. And epics. Like level 2 warlocks, level 2 big team fighters. Elephant dying is fine here. So we're hitting this interest points, and I think that means we can just go ahead and sell this Lycan. Not really doing anything crazy with Lycan here. Summoning Stone is also, I think, great. I love Summoning Stone in this meta. Summoning Stone got a lot better. The reason Summoning Stone got a lot better is because, like, Arc Warden is kind of just a part of comps. Like, every late game comp kind of wants to run Shamans. And Arc Warden is one of the Shamans. You can level him to 2 really easily. You can sometimes even level him to 3 because of the new, like, amount of forecast units, right? Which means that, you know, he's just very good. He works well with Summoning Stone, but also Summoning Stone helps your early game dependent strategies, those being, like, 4 Primordials or Savages, and both of those are just great right now because you just want to pick like an early game strategy that's kind of non-committal that you can just take a transition out of at a certain point effectively. I think this is a solid upgrade to the board. I think I can burn like 1 interest point for that and feel okay. I don't even think you can really go for Witch Doctor level 3. This is one of the most contested units in the game. Maybe not yet, but it will be soon. Summoning Stone auto pick now? I mean, I think so. I don't know. I mean, there's a few tier 2s that are auto pick. I'm not sure how I feel about big time contracts. It's still good. It's better than... Summoning Stone is better than any tier 1 item, for sure. Probably was before, though, depending on, like, exactly what you mean by better. I mean, there's a good chance it's better than Fall from Grace. I don't know, Fall from Grace definitely feels less good now. Oh, he got the shield off, rip. Dude, he got that off literally in my attack animation on the last attack. We're good. What an easy game. Razor is such a shit unit. Yeah, Razor is pretty garbage. It's true. I don't know. Can we go like 4 Scrappies? I probably do want to be in 4 Scrappies, right? I think being in 4 Scrappies and then like going... I could definitely like enter the late game with 4 Scrappies. I see no problem with that. Supposed to sell the Tusk a little bit earlier. That's fine though. It seems like, did they change like the timing? It feels like the actual fights start, or maybe this only happens sometimes. It starts like 1 second before the countdown shows. Am I crazy? It feels like the countdown is like, it's offbeat now. I swear I'm not just making excuses. Like, that just happens sometimes. Maybe your brain is lacking. Come on, guys. You saw that, right? You saw that. You could also try to go 3 warriors. Now that Tide Hunter is a warrior, Troll and Tide means a 3rd warrior could be good. What would that 3rd warrior be? It could be Slardar if you don't have Dusa. So collecting Slardars in the early game could be okay. Doom. Ooh. Doom is cute. Yeah, true. Doom is adorable. They should put Doom in my range. So what's good right now? I think Sniper is also kind of a cutie. If you can 3-star him, like pairing Deadeye isn't useless, because Gyro is just like largely going to be on your board. I'd like to be in for Scrappy soon, but it's going to be hard unless we like ass pull something early. I think Slardar, you can take Slardars early. You really only want it if you can't find the Dusa, but sometimes you can't find the Dusa. I'm gonna replace Bounty with Tinker. Bounty 2 is better than Tinker 1, I think. Tinker completes Inventors, I guess. Completing Inventors and giving me more frontline could make it close. It's pretty close. At the very least, if I replace Bounty, that means I could maybe hit this interest point if I sell like Tiny Tusk Bounty. So I think that would have been worth it in that spot. You are correct, sir. Because hitting interest points is just delish right now. Really, really, really good to aggressively hit these interest points. The one thing, though, is selling Bounty Hunter would have to mean that I might not go 4 Scrappies. I really want to be in 4 Scrappies. That's going to be my mid-game plan. From like round 15 to round 25 or so, I will have 4 Scrappies. So maybe you are incorrect, sir. I might have spoken too soon. Yeah, I think you're wrong. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. It makes us both wrong, though. Oops. I just moved my entire desk. Oh, no. Why is setting units in the first row better than cornering? Because cornering has a disadvantage of making your comp kind of awkward. Whereas I can just pretend I'm having a normal fight by just making my comp backwards. Like my front line is my front line and my back line is my back line without having to change anything else. Is Blink better than Arcanes? As much as I'm a fan of Blink, I don't know if it's better than Arcanes. Because Arcanes, at a certain point, got changed to a 2-cell radius, which is nuts, right? It's crazy. I'm basically 1/8 gay.
I didn't want to resub, but my wife's boyfriend is making me watch.
Sorry, bro. I could level up here. I'm on a streak. I should burn 1 gold interest to level up on 16. It's stupid to not be leveling here. I still haven't fully adjusted to the new mentality quite yet. I'm still making like misplays based on like old habits. Rip. I don't know. Is my econ even high enough to go to 8 on 17? How do you play in the year of our Lord 2019 and not be level 8 on 17? 4 staff is a lot better now since you want your front line to ult first and you won't have a front line to ult there. Yeah.
I'm basically 1.
4 staff is kind of adorable. I don't know, man. I don't think I have the econ to level yet. Maybe I have to play like a chump this game. This sucks. I also need another Scrappy unit. This build, this board is gonna suck until I get 4 Scrappies. Why is Razor trash?
Sound on, greater than.
It took me a second. Wait, what did that say? Sound on? Oh, it's a link. Dude, how am I supposed to click on links? Here, send it in chat. I don't know, man. Asking a streamer to click on a link with sound on, that just seems dangerous, dude. Will you promise me it's not going to get me banned? Chat would never lie to you. It's really loud. Oh, it's just the Taylor Swift meme with my scream. I get it. You know, you're not the first person to do that. That's happened before. It is always a classic meme, though.
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
What was that? I spilled my water like an hour ago and I screamed, and now everyone's just bullying me about it aggressively. PP hands. Clockwork. I don't know. Imagine not being level 8 on fucking round 17. First sniper by 19 is just not level 3 options, right?
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
Fuck bounty. I think bounty 2 is better than clock 1. I mean, bounty sucks, but I mean, level 2s are just kind of what you want. Like, level 1s aren't actual units. Good old helm. Not being 8 by 21 is just suicide. Well, yeah. I mean, even in last meta, you went 8 by 21. But I guess I can take the sniper in case I found like 5 more. If I don't have 3 snipers by 21, I can't feel like I'm going to get a level 3 sniper this game. If I'm in 4 Scrappies late game, though, part of that... What if I just play Scrappies? We have Witch Doctor. If we have Witch Doctor, we should just auto-win this round. Yeah, this game is not going super well. 6 Scrappy is legit now. 6 Scrappy. 6 Scrappy. That just doesn't sound good. And Dusa and Troll Warlord. So you're just like not pairing trolls or warlocks. 6 Scrappy is just bad. 6 Scrappy has to be bad, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not good. Octarine. We have to be an Octarine. I mean, Octarine has to be nuts. I don't know. How are we gonna get the best of this game? Second Alk. Second Alk is pretty sweet, I guess. So we're floating helm for 1 round. That's fine. 5 Shadow Fiends is good progress. 5 on 21. That's like the sign of a 3-star, basically. It's unblocked. What if we just play like a normal human being? I mean, we have 5 Shadow Fiends and 5 Timber Saws. We could just like play Scrappies like we're playing Scrappies. I mean, our economy isn't really high enough to go legendaries, right? Dude, what happened to this early game? We just got fucking demolished. We need to win early games harder. Man, that sucked. Because, like, if you don't win the early game, it feels like you can't even, like, play for legendaries. There's Enigma. So we're looking for, what, a 4th Warlock here? Where is this 4th Warlock, anyway? But in this meta, you just need Tide. I can't sell this Tide. I just have to chill for a round, right? We can just chill here. Just line comp with double tiny. Ah, why the hell not? If you've got an ideal game, when do you go to 9? If you've got an ideal game, you go to 9 on 21. If you have 100 health and a perfect streak, you go to 9 on 21. If you're having a really bad game, you go to 9 on like 31. If you're having a pretty average game, you get a 9 on like 25. In any normal game, you should be going to 9 on 25 and 8 on 17, I think. 8 on 17 is just too important. This game we're too far behind, I feel like, to even go for 8 on 17. And maybe that's the problem with Scrappies. They're kind of expensive early and they sink my economy. That doesn't feel good. We've got a second sniper now. I want my arcane boots to be picking up everything. 2 cell radius arcane boots, dude. That's so crazy. But the 4th inventor is good. 2nd sniper, 4th tinker. But, I mean, we're still blocked. And this guy's actually playing like Scrappies instead of just legendary spam. I don't know if we have a good enough early game to even get off of Scrappies here. You really like your SF? Yeah, I do. I honestly don't know if Scrappies are avoidable. We might have to go down with the ship on Scrappies and just get like 3rd place or something. Like, especially if we keep getting more snipers. Dude, what are the odds of actually completing the sniper? There's a troll. I have to go troll here, right? Okay, sniper is straight up not happening. This feels good. Just like a level 1 troll, pairing trolls is neat. Trolls is the neat thing to pair these days. We're still on this like casual 3 warlocks though. That's gotta change. We could have gone disruptor over troll. Troll level 1 feels like it at least does more than disruptor level 1. Got a couple kills and then 8 an assassinate here. That's pretty good. So this is the big decision. Round 25. This is decision time. Level to 9. Our economy's good, but our Shadow Fiend roll value gets there. I mean, we're on 5 shredders still. I think we can't level to 9 this early. Our Shadow Fiend being a 6 of means our roll value is too high, and we have to stay at 8. We have to just play like it's last meta. And here's like more snipers coming in, which is kind of unfortunate, but I don't think we had a choice but to sell out a sniper there. I don't hate selling out a sniper. I mean, his Scrappy tag is literally useless, and his Deadeye tag is... It's okay. Shredder 3-star is a bait. No, new odds of completing it are lower. 25% from 30%, 17% decrease. I mean, if it gets there, it gets there, but your level 8 odds are definitely just worse for it. There's the Disruptor 2. So now suddenly leveling to 9 means the extra slot allows us to put in... But our tier 3, our level 3 odds just go down. Not by that much. If we level... No, I have to level to 9 now. I have no choice but to level to 9. Which means I probably should have done it before rolling. It was stupid. I should have just leveled to 9. Like, the level 2 Troll Warlord is just part of what I need. And I have to accept that my Shadow Fiend odds just go down. 25% and less gold to roll with. That's the thing. It's not just a 17% decrease. When you look at it, it's like 30% to 25%. Okay, I'm losing 17% odds. But it's more than that. It's like, it's a lot more than that because it's the gold that I'm spending, right? It's got to be dataless. I need a DPS item. So who wants my bigger DPS item? It's always Troll wants dataless and Shadow Fiend wants gloves, right? I think that's just easy. And now I've got Counter the Nuts built. And now at 9, our tier 2 odds just drop. Just drop off. So yeah, I mean, these just aren't happening. And this is like why the Legendary meta feels so inescapable. It's like, I still hope this Shadow Fiend completes, but it might not, and I have to be okay with that. So I want everything to be in range of Arcane Boots. We can see Shadow Fiend and Gyro are chilling on the very edge of this Alchemist Arcane Boost. 2-cell radius means it's going to hit both of them, which is sweet. But they don't have to be super close to like big AoEs, which is nice. Huge Coddle Blast. Almost takes me down. I have no choice but to level to 9. I have no choice. Good one, guys. And Doom is like the third warrior in a warrior variant. Can we? No, of course we can't take this. We're still on the. We're still on track for the Shadow Fiend 3-star. Our progress at 6 of is high enough that I'm like, even though my odds have gone down, our health, our board is stabilized. The game is gonna go on long enough for us. We're probably still gonna get this. It's just gonna be delayed, and I have to be okay with that. And I have to roll once more and sell the Shredder. I need this Clockwork to level up though. This Clockwork gets replaced by Techies though, right? If I'm rolling down to 40, I should roll past the Shredder, I think. So, Tinker, I'm buying instead of Shredder, which seems kind of weird, because if I'm not working for Shredder, why am I working for Tinker? I had 5 Shredders and 4 Tinkers when I made that decision, and with 20% tier 2 odds and 25% tier 3 odds, you might think that's the difference maker. It helps inform the decision, but honestly, we're just doing it because Tinker is a better tier 3, a level 3 than Shredder. Going from 8 to 9 decreases the amount of tier 3 you can get in packs by 10% and tier 2s by 20%. Yeah, that should be right? And now we're not on as much of a streak to protect, but Techies is still a really valuable out. We have to just econ. We have to chill here. We have an okay board. I basically just need to get the Alchemist upgrade and the Techies. I just want to replace this Clockwork with a Techies. My odds of finding Techies are too high to even think about trying to complete Clockwork, which is why I ignored the Clockwork pair in the shop. It's just not worth it. It looks kind of weird that we bought the Timber Saws and then just sold them. I mean, I was buying them and then rolling down. I don't want to lose the 50 gold interest here. If we found something good in shop, like a Techies that we want to buy, replace Clockwork, and then we miss the interest point, roll down to 40 instead. And this, you know, if I find a pack with like 2 Shredders, like I'll go Shredder. There's just no point for it here. Honestly, it looks like this Tinker's happening. Shadow Fiend feels close. At around 29. That's worth it. I'll burn in. I'll easily burn, what is that, 2 interest points? I'll burn 2 interest points to get this on the board around earlier. I don't know. It's pretty close. 2 interest points is expensive. Here it won me this round. This saved me a lot of health, I think. The Shadow Fiend 3, like that 2 interest points just did a lot. That had to have been worth it. If our Tinker's going to 3-star CM is on the table, I mean, Scrappy Mages are just so much better now, right? How do you not go Scrappy Mages? Now that you can 2-star Lich in like every game. Like, do I even have room for Scrappy Mages here? I don't even have a single Lich yet either. I think as much as Scrappy Mages are probably the best way to play Scrappies right now, I probably can't go for it. It's a little too late, and we don't even have a single thing. So let's have a look at the mage stacks. And there's always going to be people curving into mages. Lich is so much better. So I appreciate you trying your best in this meta, but you need to spend more time looking at the units you're buying and putting on the board. You can't just throw random heroes on the board and cross your fingers anymore. Wait, what? Isn't that what this meta is? Just throw random units on the board? Maybe I was misinformed. I mean, I think we're just chilling. This board is just staying the way it is. I don't know what our 10th unit is, though. I can open myself to like a Dusa 2 or something. I don't really want Necro. I mean, my 4 Warlocks are the 4 Warlocks I want them to be. I want to go Shamans. It's weird to try to go Shamans this game. I don't have like anything even close to that. Sheep or BKB. BKB, I think, has to be better than Sheep. Level 2 Dusa. BKB Tinker 3. Yeah, when the Tinker goes to 3, the BKB will be really sweet on him. Close to a few upgrades. Burned an interest point there that we didn't need to. We could have sold the Dusa. I don't know. I mean, benching a Dusa is kind of never bad. If we're not going Shamans, I probably shouldn't even bother benching this Enigma. Like, no Arc Wardens means, and kind of like little room, it means it's kind of hard to go Shamans. So another question is, now that my Shadow Fiend is 3, should he have the Daedalus? I think the answer is an easy no. I mean, the fact that he's level 3 is probably more pressing for gloves. Pairing with Tides. And there it is. That's an easy upgrade. So Alchemist hits. We're 2 Tinkers off. Why do you hold Enigmas for so long? I don't see it happening. Lost interest because of it. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. A couple points here and there isn't that big of a deal, but you're right. I think it should be sold. The Scaled, however, might get there. We can just sell out of our Shaman option. There's just, without a single Arc Warden at this point, I don't want to run Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman is sometimes something you can do to finish Shamans if it's also finishing Trolls, but I'm never going 4 Trolls and I already have 2. So the consideration to switch Gloves and Daedalus, I think just because it's a level 1 versus a level 3, I probably have to make that swap. And crit damage actually does work with Demon bonus. As Yusu so kindly pointed out. Every time I have a question about something, I just ask Yusu. He knows everything. There's 1 Arc Warden. Too little, too late. I'm almost thinking about going to 10. I think I need like a Gyro 2 or a Tide 2 before I think about going to 10. I mean, this is the timing for level 10 though, right? Game's ending. What are the odds change? 9, 30, and 7. It's probably a little too aggressive. Oh, it just goes up by 3% off 5. Wow, 10 sucks now. Holy shit. 10 is so bad. What the hell? 10 used to actually do things. It just goes up 3%? Dude, what? That's just not worth keeping that interest. I should just do it at 37 here. If our health was a decent amount higher, if our health was like 60 instead of 40, I'd snap, just be like, well, we can chill until 37. At 43, it kind of made me think about it. But honestly, since 10 is just not an upgrade at all, it's just not worth it. That being said, I'm in a second level 2 Scrappy. Picking up like Scrappy buff, picking up Inventor buff. It just helps my frontline that much more, basically. My frontline's pretty comfy here. I think I could have my Troll and SF on different sides. It's a Techie's bomb on my SF. Oh, silence. Oh, that was my entire Disruptor ulti just to stop that Techies. So yeah, I really needed to roll for like a Tinker 3 instead of leveling. I was thinking like it increases the odds of like Dusa or Tide getting there. What do I even cut for Dusa Tide? I don't think I have a cut for it, right? Probably a mistake to be building both. I can probably only run one or the other, right?
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
Second techies. So now my rule value is crazy. This looks good. Scaled is insane here. Yeah, scaled is nuts. I mean, there's a lot of magic. How do I fit this in, guys? How do I fit in scaled? What could I possibly take out? It has to be Gyro. Take out fourth inventor. I think it literally has to be Gyro. But Gyro might be about to level to 2. Troll level 1. Troll level 1. Yeah, it's probably just troll level 1. That's true. Now that you mention it, that's actually an easy decision. You guys are right. You guys are right. I'm being silly. Like, that's very true. Yo, Roscoe Simmons. What's up, man? Welcome back to the 1/8 Gay Club. Data list of Dagon. Pretty easy data list, right? I need more DPS. We've got more damage units. We're not an alchemist anymore. We have the Tide. We're always going to take out Troll, I think. We're never going to complete Troll. We're never working on Shamans. We're just going to blacklist all of these. I think if we can roll it down the rest of the way. Come on, not like this. I don't want to be in Trolls right now. So we should have sold the Trolls and then rolled deeper. I think like on the roll down we had to pair them because if it completed then we want to run it, but we should have sold that faster and then just rolled the last 10 gold. I think we had to have done that, especially because we're at 8 Tinkers out of 9, so we lost maybe some unnecessary health here. So we're so close to stuff. We're 2 Gyros, 8 Tinkers, 2 Deuces, and 2 techies, and we kind of have like almost an ideal board. The most important thing is we do want Arcane Boots hands to change here. This is it. 1 upgrade. If we roll once, we're looking for like Tinker. If we roll twice, would I sell one to get another? At 19, I would. She wants to be in Scream range. I want everything to hit Arcane Boots range. She's a little squishy, but hitting Scaled on this board was really important. And if I had a Troll level 2, I could feel stuck on Trolls, but without a Troll level 2, I have to get out of Trolls, and that's fine. Boards are pretty spooky, though. Without a Tinker 3, my board is still a bit behind. Looks like we're good here. But if I don't hit upgrades soon, I mean, we could easily get like 3rd place or something. I'm so close. I'm so close to getting 1st place. If I hit 2 upgrades out of these 3, I get 1st place. If I hit 1, I think I get 2nd. If I hit 0, I think I get 3rd. Something like that. I don't know. If I hit 1, I might get 1st, actually. I think people are improving, and I'm not. But I can't be econing here. Roll once. Nailed it. So now she's definitely a good carrier for Daedalus. So Dusa, let's break down Dusa. She's a good carrier for Daedalus. She wants to be in the Arcane Boots range here. Arcane Boots having a 2-cell range, by the way, is fucking absurd. We didn't have to deal with this in the other Legendary meta, right? Not so much. Not so much. I think it happened like at the end of the other Legendary meta. And now we can econ through 41. And then like roll down for these. At 3 outs, we can't econ at all. But if we actually like win here, we're probably gonna be heads up at like 41. Oh, it's actually possible we have more pressure than that. Looks like we lost this one. That's crazy. We have Scaled. He's the 3 mage guy at 10. Yeah, I mean, we have to roll it down. We can't play for any amount of econ. The sad thing is, if we roll to our last point of gold and we find the 3rd Gyro, that means we have to sell Tinker 7 and Tinker 8 just to get it. At 10 health on 39. Dude, that's so sad. On 39. Would we do that? No, we wouldn't. Okay, so suddenly I feel pretty fine. So Blade Mail wants to be on a tanky Warlock, lifelink value for damage on a Warlock, and it wants to be on someone tanky, which is Alchemist here. Tinker having the BKB is going to be phenomenal. He definitely wants to be baiting Ravages. Honestly, this position still looks good. Octarine on someone else. I don't think there's a better target than Witch Doctor, honestly. I mean, Techies has a low cooldown. I guess Techies could maybe get it off twice. But I also feel like Techies might be dying earlier. Actually, Techies is probably more survivable than Witch Doctor, just because he's so tanky, even with the Scrappy buff. I could put it on Techies. But Helm also... Yeah, I think I should switch to Helm and Octarine. I'm down with that. Because things are like, too much AoE is happening on my backline. I can't really expect like backline squishies to stay alive. So we can just do this. So look at this, it's round 40. We're back to Econ. So this is the mage guy that beat us before. Well, let's evaluate his board. He has the Sheepstick on Kunkka, the big danger, and he has Blink Dagger on Techies. So maybe we could bait the Techies into blinking on one side and ulting away from our team. I will force that Techies to blink on a unit that I don't really care about, Witch Doctor in this case, and I'll put the rest of my team to one side. He has Aegis, so we're going to have to beat him twice. He has Refresher on Lich, which is spooky. And that's basically the only things we care about. It's like Blink on Techies, Sheepstick on Kunkka. So that's what we have to remember. Sheepstick doesn't go through BKB, right? Or I guess my BKB wouldn't even pop by the time Sheepstick triggers. Okay. That was easy. So my board is unupgradable now, right? The question is Gyro... Gyro is really tanky. Does he want to be my Daedalus carrier? Shadow Fiend does so much more damage with Daedalus than Gyro does. So much more. But Shadow Fiend is kind of dying soon, right? Moonshard? Moonshard's nuts. There we go, Moonshard. That's sweet. I can't take Radiance over Moonshard. That's ridiculous. And then the only thing that's left to do is just watch his board. Chainmail Tide. Chainmail hurts his ability to go off. Chainmail slows your rate of mana you gain when you take damage, so that's really bad. So let's watch his board. Again, we want to bait his Techies. So we will do this. And we'll swap for the Sheepstick. Techies can attack. So the Sheepstick might not trigger, right? Because Techies will attack something at random. It might be Kunkka, but it might be something else. Whereas the melee unit will attack what's in front of him. So it's a better swap. We force the Techies to blink on the right side by putting Witch Doctor in back, which is away from all of our carries, which is what we need. Unfortunately, this does force us to put kind of our carries together, which might hit his other AoE, but that's fine. So we pop his Aegis here, now we just need to beat him one more time. Okay. Dude got desperate measures from that. That's pretty spooky. Put our tanky guys over here. And we're literally not on gold upgrades. He's on the Gyro out, so the only thing we can do with rolling is trying to block Gyro. We blocked Gyro, and now we're good. So Gyro in our shop means he can't find it. We don't even have to buy it. So we have his board here. His Kunkka is now in front of our Alchemist, which I rather like. We need to make sure the Sheepstick stays on Kunkka. And we'll just move our Witch Doctor back. So his Techies actually is on left wall now. That's spooky. That's spooky. His Techies being on left wall now means the blink could happen here. So I might have messed up, actually. Most important thing is Techies can't bomb our carries, because that's how we lose. We have the scale buff here. I think we could have played that last round a bit better. Looks like we're good, though. Nice Aegis, dude. Okay. So let's talk about Techies blink targeting. So assassins will target something that they are the maximum amount of steps from walking to, right? It goes by stepwise, which means diagonals count the same as orthogonals, which means when Techies was back here in the back line, by putting something in my back line, because he's in the middle back line, he will blink to that something in my back line, right? But because he countered by moving his Techies to the side, that means that it can blink to this side, which means I needed to not have moved my carries over to the right side one step. If I kept them like one step on the left side, then he would blink on Witch Doctor again, and we wouldn't have risked potentially losing that. We swapped Shredder instead in front of the Kunkka at the last second, which is a good swap. We just want something useless like Shredder getting sheeped. Most important thing is our Tide can't get sheeped, because it's melee, so it'll attack forward every time. Whereas if we put the Techies in front of Tide, Techies will sometimes just attack something over here, because it's ranged, and then the Sheepstick won't go off at all. So Tide in front of Kunkka is like his win condition, and it's our lose condition. Having 3 DPS items on our 3 DPS carries just wins us here. And I guess this is a good example of a board that can kind of like merge some synergies with legendaries with level 3s. Like, you guys are asking, like, is this truly the legendary meta? Can you play for no synergies at all? I think this is a good example of maybe the kind of board you might want to play with, which is like, it's not full legendaries. You are running some synergies, in this case 4 Scrappy, even 4 Inventor, which is useful now, and you are running a couple 3-stars, specifically Tinker and Shadow Fiend, but you can't just 3-star anything anymore. Like, we could have 3-starred Witch Doctor on this board as well. We actually found a lot of Witch Doctors this game if you were watching. I don't like going for it because it's very contested, or at least it should be if people are playing this meta the way they should be. Witch Doctor is like, every single board at the end of the game pretty much wants a Witch Doctor. It's just too good. And you can only 3-star units that you actually really, really want on your late game board and are going to synergize with the alliances that you want at the end of the game, which we had here. Tydusa are just nuts now. Yeah, and this is just this meta in a nutshell.